This is another episode of Wisdom and Wine with the Young Scholars Academy team. I'm Miss Jordan. I'm the marketing director here.
I'm Miss Jen. I'm the center director.
I'm Miss Michaela. I'm the child success advocate and pre-K teacher.
So one of the questions that's just been around the world for centuries is potty training. So we're going to hit it from our perspective. Obviously, as a preschool center, we have many potty training rooms. There's lots of programs that do it very many different ways, and this is the ways that we've seen that works, that still gives a lot of leadership and power to the kids, so that obviously kids are going to control potty training any way they want.
Yep.
But here are some ways that we can give some more power to the parents to make the process a lot smoother, actually have it work for the long run, and then not ruin your guys' relationship, have gray hairs come early when you're 25.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about the 5 things to avoid when potty training.
Go get your wine. So, when is the right age to potty train? Anywhere between 18 months and 4. It depends on your kid.
Usually a child will give signs and everything, so there's no golden age for when to potty train. Like she said, anywhere between 18 months to 4 years old, and usually they'll let you know.
Yeah, and it's a process. It'll take some time. You won't do it overnight.
There are some signs when your child's going to hint that they're ready for that potty training.
Or not hint. They'll
Or
say
not,
it really.
or they'll
Obviously,
say it.
yeah.
If they're asking to go to the potty, well, there you go. they're ready for it. Taking off their diapers.
Yes, running around the house naked.
They're telling you they don't like that wet feeling, and they're wanting to be in control of how to get rid of that wet feeling. So that's a fun way to also introduce potty training, is they're going to let you know by taking it off. Another one is changing their clothes in general, just letting you know that they're not liking the feeling. And most of the time they're when they go hide out, they're letting you know that they're a little embarrassed of that accident. So that's another time to start introducing it.
Yeah, there's a couple things. I mean, developmentally, typically somewhere around 2, it's going to be there, because 2-year-olds are realizing that they have power in 3 different areas: sleep, food, and going potty. So it's typically, around 2 years old that you're going to see that. When they start to hide to go to the bathroom, not just necessarily having an accident, they're realizing that it's private. It's something that they do privately. And so that's when you can start introducing underwear, or even just a potty chair to the bathroom. Okay, so before we get to the 5 steps to avoid when potty training, we got to get to the first pre-step, I guess the biggest pre-step. I actually suggest a Merlot for when you're potty training.
And lots of patience.
Yep.
So step 1, or things to avoid one, is don't make it a battle. That is probably your first cue that it's not time to potty train. Nobody needs to be in all those tears and traumatized over the potty. So if you're having to bribe, force them to sit down, and you're both crying by the end of it, probably take a step back and reevaluate if it's really time to start potty training.
Okay, so lots of things I want to talk about with that was just said. One, there's a difference between potty training and peeing on command. So if you're making your kid go into the bathroom every 20 minutes to pee, they're not potty training. They are peeing on command. 1. 2, absolutely one of my biggest pet peeves in the 20-plus years that I've been in early childhood is when people reward children with potty training with food.
Oh,
I have to tell you, along with sticking a bottle in a baby's mouth every time they cry, we are creating an obesity epidemic. I believe they are linked. Please, please, please do not connect food, candy, sweets as a reward to doing something that it's a basic function. I promise you, they're going to figure it out.
They'll catch on.
Yeah, but don't link it to food, please. So step 2, not shaming your child during potty training. Again, first of all, it depends on the temperament of your child, but if you had children like I did, and many of the children that I've taught over the years, that's a great way to get in a big battle. And with a strong-willed child, you're going to be cleaning up more accidents that you would have been in the first place. If you have a child that has a sweeter temperament, you might just break them. And you don't want that connection. Potty training is really, really, really connected to, again, their self-esteem, their self-worth. Many theorists have gone back and discussed it. Erik Erikson, Sigmund Freud, we know that whole thing about potty training and how it connects to you later in life. So really just don't reprimand them. Just be like, dude, that sucks, go change your clothes.
Empower them to
change their own clothes.
So potty training is social emotional. It's really something that, like Miss Jen said, that's one thing they can control in their life is pottying, and they don't want to be told when to go and stuff. But if you shame them, you're breaking them, and you're making something that should just come naturally within time to be a punishment. And we don't want to punish them. When we talk about failures, that's just, hey, it happened. You know, they got busy, they got sidetracked. Think of that little mind that you're breaking down when you shame them. Give them the power. Hey, that's a bummer. Go change. We'll try again. It's not the end of the world.
And stay close. I'm not saying, go let your 2-year-old run off, to the next room, and pretty soon you've got a real mess to clean up. But definitely empower them. That's a great word to use. Empower them to, learn how to change their clothes, take their clothes on and off. That's all part of the potty training process.
I agree. Number 3, do not potty train in a transition. I really can connect with this one. I have a 2.5-year-old who we were going to start potty training. He started showing signs, but then I was having a baby. So, his world is super changing, and I'm like, hey, let's get this skill mastered. It's just not beneficial for them. When life is changing, children are just as routine as us adults, and when their routine's changing and then we're trying to add a new skill in, it can be very overwhelming. And potty training is sort of a routine type of thing where they're gonna have their times when they gotta go, and so if you're in a time of change and stuff, it's just too overwhelming for their sensory and their social emotional. So you really want to wait till you can sort of make it a routine thing and keep on track of it. So you want to just wait, and that could mean moving, and be understanding of digression during those times as well when a transition takes place. Mastery is not overnight. So moving, changing schools, deployments, things like that, you just probably want to put it on hold and reevaluate it when you can get into a calm routine for the child.
I think in general, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, some kids are going to do their thing. The biggest thing is it's a control thing. So putting it into perspective for adults. Adults, when they feel a lack of control, will do something that they feel control in, like clean the house. I mean, you can see something, you can see the work that you've done, and you can do that. Some kids will actually master potty training during a time of transition. It just really depends on the temperament of your child.
Yeah.
By and large, though, it is definitely something that you don't want to try to take on, because usually if your child is in transition, so are you. And because you want to make it such a positive thing for your family and for your child, you're most likely not going to want to take that on unless your child is really pushing and continuing to make those signs. I think to kind of piggyback a little bit about what you were talking about with digression, regression with kids, just know that anytime your child is mastering something new, and if you want to look up something fun, go look up T-Berry Brazelton and touch points. But anytime they're mastering something else, something's got to give. Your brain is so incredible. There's so many different parts to it, so many things as children that are just, they're firing on all cylinders. So say you have a 12-month-old that was sleeping through the night, and they're starting to learn to walk, and they're not sleeping anymore, and you're like, oh, it's because they moved them to that toddler room. I just know it. There's something going on in the toddler room. No, it's your kid's brain is on fire. 3-year-olds that stop napping, potty training stuff that goes on. There's a regression. They're going to fall more, or They're going to have more social emotional outbursts.
Yep.
You know, there's
Social
lots of
outbursts.
things. So you're going to see that regression. You did not break your kid. It is not your fault.
And they'll bounce back.
And they will. They will. They're resilient.
So yes,
promise.
they are very resilient,
Yep.
and they'll bounce back. So
Yep.
always remember that. So step number 4. Don't limit yourself to the method of the neighbor who's potty trained in 2 days. Every child is different, and there's so many different methods, thought process. Rule of thumb, it can take 2 weeks for a child to get a routine or master it. That's like bedtime routines and everything. Potty training's the same thing. It can take up to 2 weeks for you to realize, well, that method isn't working, or it is working. One of my methods is I have my little boy sit down. You know, he visited mommy. Trust me, we don't get bathroom breaks anymore with a solo bathroom breaks. So instead of focusing on him standing up, I just thought it was easier all the way around for him to sit down.
He'll stand up eventually.
Yeah,
I promise.
exactly. He'll. Right now, I'm just excited it's in the potty.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there are methods of. One method that was suggested for me was a urinal for little boys. It is sort of proven that little boys are a little harder to potty train than the little ladies. But Miss Jen also has.
Can I tell you why?
Why?
My theory on why I think boys are harder to potty train than girls. First of all, boys are more physical, or tend to be more physical, and girls tend to have more vocabulary. I mean, they like triple boys
That
in
is
words.
true. Yep.
And so boys, and this is really funny, my husband's going to kill me for this, but I always say, and Jordan knows this, I always say, are you out peeing in the sandbox when he's out doing something, and he just doesn't want to come inside, fishing, whatever, because boys don't want to leave what they have, the physical things that they're doing, because they feel like somebody's going to take their spot. Girls tend to, this is a very big generalization, so nobody hurt me here, but girls tend to have more words, and their thought process with potty training is, oh, I don't want to get pee on, Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast or whatever their panties look like. Yeah, they really can verbalize that a little bit better, or have been able to verbalize it a little bit better. And be potty trained faster. That's just in my experience. That doesn't mean everybody.
And she mentioned underwear, so that is also another trick of the trade, is letting them pick out their underwear. That's how mine actually decided, hey, I want big boy underwear, but I want the ones I pick out. So he did not go in the potty till we got Spider-Man. So
Yeah, can we talk about pull-ups? Can we talk about pull-ups?
Pull-ups are diapers.
So pull-ups are just diapers, guys. It's so that you don't have a mess to clean up. I get it. My kids didn't use diapers. I'm old. Again, nobody get me. I'm opinionated, but I don't know if they still sell them, but those plastic pants that go over the top of underwear, you're not changing whole outfits. And they feel wet when they're wet, and they don't like that. And so they're more likely to be quicker with the potty training with that.
I have a strong-willed one who told me the reason he won't go in the potty is because his pull-up, because it's easier to go in the pull-up. So he wasn't going to get potty trained as long as I had him in a pull-up. He really did have to get that sense of feeling. Mm-hmm. And hey, it's laundry. It'll be okay.
To help boys, though, potty training, going back to that, I had a few things that I did. Sorry, son. Fruit Loops, Cheerios, throw them in your toilet. Again, my maintenance man husband is probably going to kill me for that one. But try to aim for the Cheerio. Try to pee on the Fruit Loop. Or add food coloring to your toilet and watch them have it change water. Girls like that too. Another good one that I remember doing when I was teaching pre-K was painting inside your toilet a bullseye, kind of like a Captain America type thing, and having them aim for that, because one, if you're going to potty train, you really should consider not having carpet in your bathroom, and two, you got to just
gotta embrace it. Embrace the mess.
Yes,
embrace the mess. For sure, embrace the mess, because it is tough, but it's a fun journey. And
it's not that tough.
It is a fun journey for them, so make it fun. Don't make it a job. And pottying shouldn't be a job.
Right. So, number 5, don't compare your methods and progress to anybody else. So there's a lot of Sister Bertha better than yous out there. I'm just gonna say, and you know what works for one person might not work for another person. Kids aren't the same. You gotta own and you gotta live your own thing. If you're potty training, you're teaching your kid how to pee on a tree when you're out, somewhere. You teach them how to pee on the tree. I mean,
they didn't have an accident.
I am not responsible for any tickets that may be given. But you got to do what you got to do, and comparison is the thief of real joy, as they say. Do what's best for your family always. Find yourself a tribe of
It does
people.
take a village.
Yep,
does take
that
a
support you no matter what you do and your crazy self.
Right.
And just do you. Do your kids. Do you.
And when you compare progress, you're sort of belittling their progress.
Right.
So-and-so was potty trained in 2 days. Whoop-dee.
That's great, but my kid can spell their name. I mean, everybody can go back and
has
forth.
their different
Yeah.
highs
Kids are
and
beautiful.
lows.
Yes.
Embrace your child's individualness. Strong-willed children, they're going to take a little longer probably because, well, they just want to prove where they're in control.
Well, can we talk about something too? I mean, just real quick, strong-willed children, yes, they can take a while, and like I said, I had 3, but I also taught for a really long time, and the kids that have my heart, like, a lot are the ones that don't talk, the ones that are really quiet and just kind of go along with the flow and don't make waves. Those kids need to be supported and moved along as well. So
don't overlook them.
Don't overlook
and don't count them out.
a temperament.
Yeah.
Like totally pay attention to what's going on with your kid. Ask for help, especially if you have the ability to have your kid in a great program like ours. Ask for help. We know what we're doing. We're going to try, and
we
you
want
know
to
your
partner
kids,
with you.
so we want to partner and make that happen for you.
So if you do need a little bit of help on that potty training, come visit us. We'll
Right.
be happy to partner up with you.
And drink wine with you.